What's good, everybody? Lots of love for everybody that's back at it with me in the break room. It's been a minute since I did a live stream. Took probably about a couple, 3 weeks off in between Disney Plus series. But if you didn't know, this is a spot where it doesn't matter who you are or what reality you're from. We're here to deliver a fourth wall break to help you escape your daily grind. I'm Green Bear. We're going to talk some Hawkeye tonight. Who's down with me to do so? Let me see something in the chat in a moment. I'll be right back. Need to get my glass ready. Oh, what up? What up, Sheev? You could be here, sir, but you know, I know you're a busy man. Be lucky if I don't time your ass out at some point tonight, too. Get me your chat. Talking that Omega junk. He's gonna be running up in here telling me Kingpin's dead or something. Alright. That's all I got today. It's a rough week, guys. I got this one glass of scotchy scotch. Just one glass. I'm gonna take a rip. And let's talk about what you guys came here to talk about. So, first off, since I haven't been able to do this with you guys from the beginning of the series, you know, we gotta talk a little bit about episodes 1 and 2. Nothing too crazy, but it is sad life, Sheev, for real. What up, Sheev? What up, Daniel Fisher? What up, Mike Porter? See anybody else in that I miss? I don't think so. You want to shout out, you say something in that chat. But anyway, what we got with this series so far is episode 1, pretty much all about Kate with some Clint sprinkled in, right? We got her childhood, little extended walkthrough with that intro even coming right after. We see that flashback to the Battle of New York, which was sick, real sick. I seen somebody put up on the internet too, just the parallels between like the actual Avengers movie and what we saw in Hawkeye, and that was cool as shit. The one problem they had though is they knocked off the wrong part of the building in the series. The K is supposed to come flying off right away in the Battle of New York, but they did a little backwards in the show. It's all good. It's all good. It's still a movie. We'll get over it. You know, it's not real, guys. I'm sorry. It's not real. All right. But we learned about her motives, you know, what drives her to be like Hawkeye, what makes her look up to him. I mean, dude saved her life. Enough said, right? And then we more importantly, we get into her family baggage, which, if you haven't been paying attention, is a big part of the show, right? And we'll get into that a little bit when we start talking about episode 3. Right? Then we get into the second part of that premiere. We get into episode 2, where it's not all about Clint, but it's a lot more about Clint, right? We look at a little bit more of his family baggage, what he's doing. Well, we learned in the first episode why he's in New York, but we learned what he's got to go through to stay in New York and send his family packing home. Right? We learned this guy doesn't like LARPing. Not at all. Not a LARPer. Mike Porter's probably a LARPer, though. I'm betting he's a LARPer. We think she. Anyway, we get to meet the Hawkeye series version of Grills, which, if you don't know this dude from the Matt Fraction run of comics, you know, he's that dude that calls Hawkeye Hawkeye, and he doesn't have a really good ending though. We get to just really kind of further explore Hawkeye's dealing with the whole Ronin situation, and you know, it seems very much so like he just wants to put this whole part of his life behind him, but he's left picking up the mess that he created still as Kate Bishop slides into that costume. And now, fast forward, and we're at Hawkeye 3, right? So we come into this episode, and I explored it a little bit in the video I put out before this episode came out. We got questions, right? Who is the dude or dudette that killed Armand? Do we even really care that much about Armand? I say a little bit. Old man didn't need to die like that. It's a little convenient. LARPing around my poor. It's a little convenient that they make this guy die of a stab wound, right? Which they didn't come right out and say it was a sword wound, but a stab wound. Okay? Now, we kind of just get pushed and shoved into thinking like it's gotta be this dude that's Kate's suspicious of. My guy, Jack, aka Jacques Duquesne, who's actually the son of Armand in the comics, and he's also the swordsman, the guy who's kind of an anti-hero, worked with and against Clint in the past, and you know, everything's kind of pointing to him like, oh, it's got to be him. But no, look, we got a definite sus character here in Kate's mom. I mean, look, she's strutting around with this fancy ass security business like somebody we know. She's strutting around with this fancy little cut off shoulder haircut like somebody from the comics that we know. And she just seems like she's kind of got like that fuck with me attitude, kind of like this character in the comics that we know. And I'm talking about Madame Masque. You know, it's kind of convenient, like Madame Masque ends in Q-U-E and Jacques ends in Q-U-E. I don't know, my mind just going there for no reason. Anyway, I was kind of harping on that whole situation, you know, and then also thinking about the fact that Kate got that call from the police. That's definitely going to come back to haunt us later. We're going to see how the cops get into this. But we come into this learning that Echo is here already, episode 2. Echo, pretty cool character. She's like kind of the yin to Daredevil's yang, and she's definitely like a tie-in character to Daredevil because she's deaf, he's blind. You know, together they're like one full Nah, that's fucked up. But she can feel vibrations and kind of has powers and similar abilities to Taskmaster. What did I just say? Wherein she can replicate anyone's moves. So I mean, Clint comes at her, she can replicate his punches, his dodge, whatever he's doing to fight her. Any hero comes at her and fights her, she can pick up their moves in a second. She has photogenic instincts, I guess, in that regard, or whatever the hell you want to call it, right? So we know we got that coming. I also laid out some clues in my last video too that I think lead to Madame Masque. We got this hint of red in the show. Anytime a little bit of danger is coming around. If you go back and watch episode 1, you're gonna see that right before the Chitauri invasion starts, Kate Bishop, little young Kate, just happens to open a bright red box of checkers, right? Whenever we see Eleanor, aka, let's just call her Madame Masque, because I think it's a certainty, whether it be just a hint of the future or not. She's like damn near always wearing a shade of red. It gets a little bit closer to purple, but there's a lot of red in there, right? And you even see Jock holding a rose, which is the only red part of that he's holding, and I think that more symbolizes like he's an anti-hero. Yeah, he got a little bit of bad in him, but not too much, right? And then we get into you look at the tracksuit mob. They just seem to pick all red tracksuits for this show, right? On top of that, we get to the very end of the show, and you got Echo with a hint of red all around her, right? So they're definitely playing with that for the videography. You see red, you might as well be in the Sixth Sense. Something's about to go down. So keep your eyes out for that. Oh, those trick arrows, Mike Porter. I wanted to talk about that. I might even throw up, I'll definitely be throwing that up in probably a video I do Friday when I relate back to some Matt Fraction comic book pitches for it. But yeah, let's talk now about this third episode. A hell of an episode. I actually watched it like on my way to work. and drop him off a kid. It was not a safe ride, but you know, I got through it and I had some fun. Went back and checked it out a couple times. But this one, similar to the way we got a backstory about Kate in episode 1, we got a backstory about Echo in episode 3. You know, we learned about her childhood and how important the relationship she had with her father is. So I swear, when I was just hearing him telling her like his little dragon and going through that beat me up a little bit. I got a little girl too. But we also learn ways that she learned to kind of adapt to being deaf. And then we kind of gradually see her just start becoming a badass, you know? Until we get to the point where we see Ronan crash that whole party, you know, and then Dad's gone. And unless I missed it, Ronan took his ass out, not like Kingpin in the comics, who we might talk about in a second. We also get a little bit of scene of Kingpin's hand, because let's face it, the uncle is going to be that man. Clint even talks about this guy when he's talking with Kate about who actually is on top of the organization running the tracksuits. It's a guy you don't want to mess with, right? Echo and Kazi refer to her uncle a few times. And I think the rumor on the street has been this whole time that we're going to see D'Onofrio's Kingpin come back in episode 4. And guess what next week is, guys? Episode 4. So, I mean, we got 3 more episodes. It's kind of crazy, just 2 weeks in, and we're already halfway done with this series. It's, I wouldn't say easily, but it's definitely probably my top 2 favorite right now out of all the ones I've watched. This week, besides like some minor details, definitely a little bit of predictability for me. And let's run through some of this too. Flip it over to here. Whoop. Oh, I thought I moved the chat box. Oh, got me messing things. Hold up. Let's see. All right, chat box. Get over here. All right. That is better. All right. So, started off, talk a little bit. I already talked about. I can like feel the lag. We got her in school, doing some writing, yada yada yada. Teacher says, "Oh, you're smart." Here's me lagging. Here's her talking with her dad. Some of that relationship I think was cool. We can fast forward a little bit to her whooping up on this guy. Let's check out this scene a little bit. See if I catch a copyright. Flip it ahead a little bit. Ronan's just doing his thing. Flip it over. It's right when her dad gets hit. Yep. Ronan lights him up. He's out. Yeah, man, so we had all that going on. This scene was hilarious right here. They just got him, oh, did I skip ahead too far? Here we go. There we go. Holding them hostage on that. Lynch is just grumpy old dude this whole show, and I kind of like it. I kind of predicted they were just going to escape, though, and then we were going to get right to the scene from the trailers. And they switched roles here, too, from the comic books, because if you know you've seen it, you know in the comics, Clint is the one shooting the arrows, and Kate is the one driving in the comics. So they're doing a whole lot to prop her up throughout the course of the show, and I'm not that mad at it. I just don't want them to completely off Clint. I like the concept of having two Hawkeyes like they did in the comics, and I think a lot of other people did too. Lighten stuff up with them. I'm skipping ahead here too, trying not to catch copyright. I'm a little bit mad that they didn't ride in the Challenger. Like, I noticed it, I knew it was coming from the trailer, but it is what it is. This scene right here was tough too. This is like almost directly out of the comic book. Got the purple goo on that truck. What a shot that is. Ooh, did we just... Hold up. Hold on a second. They went out of their way to show us that that arrow said Pym on it. And Dan said that a minute ago too, and I just didn't even like... I didn't even catch that in the first run. You think I definitely catch a strike on this? Find out. Oh, that is badass. I watched this episode way too quick. That phone call he has when he's staff is kind of heartbreaking too, man. This whole conversation was pretty interesting right here. That goes basically back, you know who the fucking boss is. It's crazy how much they just switch roles though. Pete and Clint. How about this costume though? Did I skip past it? Call back to the comics there. I found myself just going back and watching this segment though, and later in the day. What do you guys think about Jock holding him up with that Ronin sword at the end? You think we're gonna get an unfriendly Jock, or you think this is where him and Kate come together and start suspecting the mom? Oh, also, just in this scene right here, we get Ozzy on the screen. I don't know what's boom, right there. So, her mom, like, Kazi's one of his clients? Oh, hold on. There. Kazi's one of her mom's clients? Like, that's just legit, and we're not gonna think it's Madame Mask? I mean, the comics were a little bit more of a stretch on what her business was. I think this is, like, actually, like, a better story with the whole security gig. But yeah, man, I'm thinking a little bit of attention is gonna get drawn to the tracksuits after this episode, and the big guy's gonna have to step in. I'm also thinking they're gonna have a long conversation with Jack, and probably a little bit of a fight too, because Hawkeye's gonna be like, "Oh, what are you doing with my sword?" And it's gonna go down. I think that's what's happened, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Feel a little quiet over there. And just so you know, guys, I'm gonna try doing this every Wednesday night now. I think we're back in solid territory for having some content to talk about each and every Wednesday night now, just because we're back in full gear at Disney Plus. So I'm gonna try to be more consistent with that. You know. But Scrappy Coco, what up, man? Thanks for popping in. Kingpin end the next episode. Possibly, that's probably a good prediction. Danny Fisher in there too. Let me flash it back over to the main screen. All right. Yeah, I think. What do you guys think about possibility? Do we get a Daredevil too? Or is there just not enough time? One other thing I'm noticing that I feel like nobody talked about with as far as just the promotional material too is on all the posters it says like save the city. Like what are we saving the city from? And how does this Avengers watch got to tie into something unless it's just like a fashion piece for Wilson Fisk? I'm really trying to find out some more about that. Oh, I skipped over too that so we got Sloan Limited. I'm thinking, you know, it's not the Fisk Corporation, but I don't know. It's gonna be interesting how they tie this in. I can't wait to see what they do with D'Onofrio or Kingpin. It's virtually a certainty. So you know, I'm just calling it like that. I hope he's not at the tail end of the episode though, because I'm not really sure where they're going with this next episode. They definitely can't play it off like they did this week and basically have no promotional material whatsoever. They did even worse than they did with What If this week. Like there was no commercial whatsoever. But we also kind of knew where we were going with episode 3. We knew that escape and then the chase scene was going to happen. I don't think we have any idea what's going down in episode 4. They're going to have to give us some kind of a teaser. But just wondering what the bigger threat's going to be. That's my thoughts, you know, like what's the plan? Echo isn't stopping. Not sure how much more damage to the city can happen. Yeah. I don't know, man. But at some point, Echo's got to turn too, you know, because we're getting an Echo TV series. I don't think she's going to be the villain the whole time. But also the way they did it as well with Ronan killing her dad. Like unless that was like a front by Kingpin and his guys, I don't know. That seems a little bit far fetched. How is she gonna like turn on Kingpin? Or is Disney trying to do their own kind of anti-hero thing with an Echo show? Be kind of interesting. But let's take a break from Hawkeye for a second. Let's talk about what everybody is thinking about but not talking about in this chat right now. Holy shit, who's ready to go see Spider-Man? I must have like at least like 2 or 3 conversations minimum about that a day. And your boy got lucky too. Went and when I tried on Monday to grab a ticket, everything was sold out everywhere. And I looked again today, and that glitchiness must have been going on from all the sites crashing, and I was able to just extend or get a refund and go to the theater I wanted to and get 2 seats. So not going dolo anymore. You took off 12-17. Nice. I'm going 12-16. No, Daniel Fisher. Need you guys to put some pressure on too, because what I really want to do, I don't know if they're game for it, is get Sheev and Kendall on board and let's talk Spidey, because I know we're all going to see it the 16th. Obviously different places, but I think that'd be a cool little combo. The 3 of us meshing it up. A little bit of scotch for me, whatever Sheev's into, you know, some water. He's a young guy. Kendall, I don't even think he's allowed to with him, that newborn. Gotta keep it on the up and up. Like, Porter, where'd my show go? I mentioned Spider-Man. I don't even hear anything from you. What's going on? But this is honestly kind of impromptu for me, guys. Getting right back into the flow. I try to get a little bit more of a format going forward for Wednesday night streams. Try to get some people to come on with me and talk that shit. And yeah, we're gonna be covering Hawkeye for a few more weeks. Gonna get back into some Star Wars action after that. In between, we'll talk a little Matrix, we'll talk a little Spider-Man, so that'll be fun. I still haven't even seen Ghostbusters. I heard it's fantastic as well. And then, I'm not sure what's coming up after that in the new year, what the schedule is. I gotta look at it again. Is Obi-Wan coming up first? That would be amazing. I think that's too soon. Then we got either Ms. Marvel or She-Hulk, I believe. Or Moon Knight. I think it was between Moon Knight and She-Hulk. They haven't dropped which one's coming first yet. Either one sounds great. I think this Hawkeye one is going to kill it. Yeah, Dan. Ghostbusters, I heard, like, just was a proper send-off for the first couple. Like, they did it right. I just haven't seen it yet. I really want to. Honestly, with the Matrix, I think I'm just gonna watch from home. That WB action. Beat you right. I cannot wait to see Spider-Man. With all the rumors that we pretty much know are true, like, let's be real. Anybody that doesn't think, does anybody in chat think that we're not getting all 3 Spider-Men? For real? Anybody? I doubt it. I highly doubt it. You know, unless we get like a meme of Vin Diesel hopping out of a car to punch a lizard in the face. I'm pretty sure it's already confirmed. And that's gonna be wild too. I'm a Toby guy myself, so can't wait to see that dude back on stream. And 2.5 hours for the movie too. That's sick. We got so much good stuff coming out over the next year. Just gotta do it right. All right, everybody. But thank you for stopping in. Gave you guys a little bit of a preview of what's to come. I said I'll probably be down to do some longer streams in the long run. But give you a nice little 30 minutes tonight talking about that season or episode 3 of Hawkeye, which, I mean, it's a little predictable. I'm not gonna say filler because there was some cool stuff in there, but because we're waiting for Kingpin, it's almost like filler, you know. But some cool shit coming with that show. 3 more episodes, and then we jump right into Book of Boba Fett. So, with that being said, I got just enough. That's it for the scotch. That's it for the stream. Ducky Momo, what up? Just in time. Catch you on the replay, brother. All right. But with that being said, this has been your 4th wall break.
It's over. Go home. Go.